Hello, Ram fans. I'm Ryan Ulick with Fordham Athletics, and I'm in the Lombardi Fieldhouse with head coach Bridget Orchard of the Fordham softball team. Pumped that the season's finally here. I'm sure you are too. Must feel great to get to practice. I know we're in the Fieldhouse. I know you want to get out in the field, but the season's only a couple weeks away. How's the preseason been thus far? How are you guys feeling?
It's been great. I mean, we don't like to be inside. We actually got outside one day last week, which was nice. We got to use real balls. But being inside isn't the worst thing because we're just excited to play right now, having that big Christmas break. So right now we're just trying to get after it, hitting, having so many returners. We're kind of just trying to pick up where we left off in the fall.
For sure. I mean, there's only so much you can do in here until you get into game action. Last season was another resounding success, another A10 title. I was there. It was crazy in D.C., fighting back all the extra inning games, the walk-offs. It was really awesome. But it must be a coach's dream coming back with 8 of 9 returning starters. You obviously have an influx of talent, too, and we'll get to that. But, I mean, how confident are you, the coaches, the players, really, that they've been there before and they're here again in this stacked senior class?
Yeah, we're just really excited. I think they have new goals this year. We have goals every year, but I think this year they really want to get to that super regional, and I think they've been there, done that. We're not overlooking the A10 or overlooking the conference championship, but basically our goal this year is we want to work a little bit harder than we've ever worked in the past to kind of go a little bit farther than we've ever gone before.
I mean, and they've been there before, like I just said, and you just said, how do you guard against complacency and just keeping them focused? It's a long season, but they've been through 3-2 for some of them. How do you keep them going mentally?
I'm just trying to keep it fun. Like I said, they have a lot of experience, so a lot of this stuff they already know, so it helps me a lot, so I don't have to reteach everything all over again. They've been doing great with teaching the underclassmen, the new freshmen transfers, so they've been able to help us like other coaches out there, so that's been awesome to have them back doing that. And like I said, we're just trying to push them harder than we've pushed them in the past, so hopefully they can get through that. They'll have that. They have their rings, but they really want more, and I think that they know they haven't really done what they can do, and I think they're really confident in trying to get that next step.
I got my first. Totally up for more as well. So let's change pace real quick. Let's talk about the underclassmen, the new freshmen, the new faces that have come in. You lost Rachel Gillen, was one of the most tremendous pitchers we've had in recent seasons. Lauren, in her absence, part of the season stepped up, but she remains as basically the number one pitcher outside of the freshman class. So give us a little preview of what some of these new faces can bring to the team.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the greatest thing about our program this year is it's a unique mix because we do have a lot of returning, but our pitching is very young. So we have a lot of youth, but we have a lot of experience in the defense. So our pitchers, we're just kind of playing them and say, you have veterans behind you. They're going to be nervous getting out there as freshmen, opening up against Baylor and Arizona on top teams in the country. But we keep kind of telling them it's really a team, and just if they keep the ball in the park and they let our defense play, I think we'll be in some games. And I think they're going to take their lumps this year. Absolutely, I think the freshmen are going to get after it. But the good thing is they have the opportunity to step right in. They're going to play right away, and that doesn't happen with a lot of freshmen. So we have 3 freshman pitchers that are going to see time right out of the gate. Like you said, Lauren will be kind of our number one workhorse, and we're going to go to her a lot. And I think it's good for the freshmen to have her because they do kind of follow her lead, and she's able to kind of mentor them and kind of work out with them, challenge them. They're trying to compete with her, and so it's a good competitive environment, but yet they're a great staff to work together, and you're going to see a lot of different things out of each pitcher, kind of bring something different to the game. So I think it's going to be unique this year. We'll have our ups and downs, for sure. There'll be some frustration, but I think there'll be a lot of successes as well.
Awesome, and I'm sure it's a big jump to go from high school to playing 2 top 25 teams right out of the gate, February 9th. So let's get to that schedule. The off season, the out of conference schedule. I know you try to really make it kind of tough. And a lot of traveling to really a lot warmer places than here the next month. So give me some of your thoughts on your out-of-conference schedule and what the A10 kind of looks like after that.
I think the biggest thing is we love to challenge them right out of the gate, and they know that, especially the returners, the experience. I think they thrive for that. They thrive playing the big games. They want to play against the best, and we always say if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we're kind of going to see right out of the gate what a regional would look like, and we're kind of treating it like that. We're like, let's pretend this is an actual regional, and it works out great because actually Baylor is going to be there, who was in a regional last year. So we have Baylor, Northwestern, Arizona, so they're going to see them right out of the gate, and kind of thrive on that. We want to work hard. We want to play against them, see really good pitching right out of the gate. Kind of warms us up to get into our next weekends and the weekends after that. Coming into A10s, we hope that we've seen every situation. We've faced every type of pitcher. Our pitchers have faced all different types of hitters. We've seen speed. We've seen different fields. So hopefully it just kind of gets them the experience. And it's worked in the past where they've really gotten knocked down pretty bad, and they've been great. And I think that's the great thing about this team is they can take that. Not everybody can take, getting beat by 10 runs and coming back the next day and being ready to get after it. So they're really resilient, and they're up for a challenge all the time. That makes them really good.
Awesome. And then when you look at the Atlantic 10 as a conference, just strictly the teams around you, is there anything that stands out as opposed from last year? Do you see the same teams in the tournament? Any teams posing a threat coming for the title this year?
I think it'll be a great A10 again. I think it was a battle last year. I think this should be the same thing. You know, Dayton has Amanda Cash coming back, who we had struggled in the past. She's great coming back. St. Joe's had a lot of people returning. They have good pitching staff. We don't see St. Louis this year in the regular season, which will be interesting. They're usually one of our big rivals and a good game for us. So going into the tournament, it'll be interesting. It's not being able to see them our first time will be at the A10.
Do you wish you saw them in the regular season?
Yeah, I'd much rather see them in the regular season than just open up with them in the tournament or something. So that kind of throws a little wrinkle, but everybody else, it's going to be strong. I think, again, top to bottom, anybody can beat anybody in our conference, which makes it nice.
And we'll wrap up looking back at the team again as a whole now. What would you say are your biggest strengths and some weaknesses that you really want to work on this season or in the next few weeks before the season begins?
I think our biggest thing right now is going to be our strength and our weakness. I think our weakness is our pitching, just inexperienced staff. We got a lot of freshmen out there, not a lot of experience, so we're kind of going to see who can thrive on that and who can step up and play like a veteran and who doesn't. But I think that's going to be a big thing to see what we come out of our pitching staff, to see how far we're actually going to go this year. The good part, like I said, the veterans, they've been there, done that, so their experience, there's not that we don't know about them. So we're still trying to get to know some of the freshmen that are coming in, the transfers, but for the most part, we're going to have our lineup that we had last year.
Okay, and I'll leave you with this. I know we've been talking for a while. Your goals for the season, 4-time defending champions, you've been there, you get to regionals. What's the next step? I think you already mentioned, what's your goal this season?
Yeah, right now we're shooting for this. We'd love to go to the College World Series every year. We talk about going to the World Series. We'd love to be in Oklahoma City. And that's our ultimate goal. But the goal that we set right now is just to get to that super regional. We want to take one step at a time, but kind of supers is what's in everybody's mind to get to that super regional because we haven't done it before.
Okay. Thank you, Bridget. Season starts February 9th. You'll be in Tucson, Arizona. I think it's 6 games over 3 days. I wish I could be joining you. Really do. But thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, we're going to start off with our player segment with 3-time All-Conference center fielder Sydney Canessa. Sid, what's going on?
Not much, Rye. How are you?
I'm great. I'm pumped to be doing this. I'm pumped the season's starting. You're going to be in Arizona in just 2.5 weeks. I'm sure it's awesome to get started. I asked Bridget a ton of questions, but for you guys, we'll keep it simple. You've been here for 3 years, and this is a stacked upperclassmen team. Very loaded in experience, very successful upperclassmen team. So how much confidence does that instill in you, the rest of the team going forward this season, your final year in the Fordham?
Since we have a lot of freshmen, I think it's great that we have a lot of veteran players. Probably like Bridget said, we've been here before. We've done it for the last 3 years. So that's going to be key going into these big games in preseason as well into the A10s. So that's going to, keep us all composed when we're up against the bigger and better teams, and then when we get into the conference play. I think it's really going to, rely on us to get those freshmen and the transfers acclimated and, make them feel comfortable when we're playing against the better teams.
But not just the freshmen, too, but the fact that you're returning 8 of 9 starters. You lost Rachel, but Q becomes the number 1 starter. You pretty much have everyone that was there last year going right back into the field. How does that feel for the team? How are you feeling with that group going out there every day?
It's pretty awesome. We come to practice, and we kind of know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we kind of build off of each other, which is huge. So I think our confidence level right now is pretty high, but we don't want to get too high. We could always improve. The A10 is definitely getting better year to year, so we got to make sure that we keep getting better day to day and we keep our eyes on that main goal.
All right, cool. And before I let you go, on a personal level, what are you trying to improve most in your game this season or in this preseason too?
I definitely want to, keep my composure, continue to be a leader by my actions. I'm more of a silent leader, so I definitely want to, lead by example and, command the outfield, make sure we cut off some hits and take those hits away. And in terms of being at the plate, I want to make sure I do whatever I can to get those runs in and help us win some ball games this year.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Sid. Now joined by 2016 second-team All-Conference selection, Lauren Quense. Lauren, this will be an interesting year for you, I think, and the pitching staff. We were just talking to Bridget. It's a very young pitching staff behind you. And you as the only non-freshman pitcher on this staff. There's a bunch of them. It's going to be interesting. They're going to be going against top 25 teams right away on February 9th. But what are you looking most forward to this season as the senior on the staff, and what do you think these other freshmen can bring to the staff this season?
Well, I think first and foremost, I'm most excited that we have more arms than last year. But no, we've been working really hard as a staff to get ready for the big teams and eventually for conference. So what I'm looking most forward to is, I don't know, just the whole experience, getting them out there, getting to watch them grow, watch them play, watch them develop, and ultimately being able to help them, be successful. That's kind of what my job is. So I'm pretty excited to see that and see how they react to things, because I think we're doing a pretty good job right now of preparing. So we'll see if that pays off.
I'm actually interested, when you were first starting out as a pitcher coming into Fordham, did you ever have any experiences that they may have where they go from high school and then their freshman year they're playing like a big team? Did you ever have that yourself?
Yeah, we were kind of just thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it, though.
Right.
Yeah, freshman year we played a tough schedule, going to Florida and all that stuff. One game in particular, I remember Syracuse. They were pretty good that year, and I got to pitch that game. So it's definitely pressure, but I came in with a bunch of freshmen who were also playing behind me, so it was kind of like, I don't know, I had that support system, and everyone, kind of built me up, so coaches and everything. So, it's a great experience being able to play the big teams. That's who you want to play, for sure. You don't want to play crappy teams, but yeah, you're playing Alabama, playing Florida, you're pretty hype. I don't know.
All right, perfect. All right, let's talk about the team as a whole right now. You're returning 8 of 9 starters and coming off the 4th straight A10 title. So obviously the confidence is there, but does that take it to another level that you have this entire field, the whole starting lineup and team is there to get ready for another season? What's the feeling like?
Well, it feels great. It's definitely good to have 8 of 9 starters back. Especially a lot of them being upperclassmen. We have a lot of experience on the field, a lot of talent. Even with the young girls coming in, most of them are pitchers. So 3 out of our 4 freshmen, or 4 out of 6, something like that, are pitchers. So, just having that experience behind them I think is what's going to help them ultimately as a pitching staff and to develop. But yeah, it's great having everyone come back, because we all already know, who can get what, who you have to talk to more, what you have to do in order to be successful with different people behind you, and how to work and how to gel. So yeah, I think the more the merrier to bring back.
For sure. Now it's just about refining the craft.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, and now on a personal level, before I let you go, what are you looking to improve on most in your season?
For me personally, I want to hit dingers. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I think just for me personally, keeping that mental mindset is going to be the most important for me. Just, being able to get through it. It is 65 plus games, so it's a long haul, and you have the ups and downs. So for me personally, I just want to improve the most on my mindset and staying positive, and keep getting after it.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Q.
Thank you so much.
All right, now joined by senior Amy Van Homen, another all-conference selection last year. Let's talk about the team as a whole. We've talked to the others so far. Returning 8 of 9 starters. Obviously, everyone's seen success the last few years. But how confident are you guys? Does that take it to another level? The fact that you're all basically coming back from starting last year, and what do you think you need to improve on as a whole to reach that upper level?
I think having 8 of 9 starters back is a big thing for us, especially for our confidence, because we know how everybody plays together. Me playing shortstop, I know how my second baseman plays because I played next to her for a year. Also, I think the lineup, everybody kind of stays in the same spot in the lineup. Working different people in, some freshmen in, and everything like that. As far as working on stuff, I think as a whole, we just need to work on gelling even more together, because we do know each other so well, so we can't settle for what we think we already know and how good we think we already are. So I think we just need to take it to another level, take it one step further.
All right, and then to get there on a personal level, what do you look forward to trying to improve on most in your senior season?
I think personally I've spent a lot more time this season training in the weight room and conditioning than I ever have in any of the other years I've been here. So I think that'll make me stronger. So I'm looking forward to see how my at-bats improve, how I drive the ball better personally. So, yeah.
All right, thank you, Amy. All right, and lastly, I'm joined by reigning A10 Player of the Year, Lindsay Mayer. Second Player of the Year award for the Fordham program. Let's just go back in that season and just recount what it felt like to get that award, the season that you had, and obviously now, in your senior campaign, you want to take it one step further, and how do you want to do that in your senior campaign?
I think it was awesome that I won the award. I really wasn't expecting it. I think a big thing that had to do with it was going in and having to pitch when that wasn't really what my role was in the beginning of the year. So I think that definitely helped, but I also think that just kind of being confident at the plate and trying to do the best that I could, that definitely helps me throughout the season. And kind of going forward this year, I'm not going to really think about any of the end awards or anything. I'm just going to be trying to do my best. And hopefully earlier on in the season, my goal, I would say, is just to kind of focus on those preseason games and doing better at those games so that I can bring it into like 8-10 games.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure it's a relief now that you can just focus strictly on third base, just batting, fielding. Let's talk about the team as a whole. Now we're returning 8 of 9 starters. Obviously, it's a stacked upper class, plus reigning Rookie of the Year Just Hughes, too. Everyone's coming back, so the confidence must be high. But you obviously have your own goals to move past regionals this year. What do you think is necessary for the group as a whole to get there?
I think it's really good that we have the returning 8 of 9 players, like you said, because everyone kind of knows their role, whether it be in the field or in the lineup. So it's good kind of going in knowing what you're expected to do and kind of what your teammates expect you to do. So I think our goal is just kind of to stay confident, keep talking with one another. We're really good at communicating with one another. So trying to make sure that we're all on the same page and doing everything possible to win.
All right. Perfect, Lindsay. Thank you. That's it for the 2017 softball preview. The season starts against two top 25 teams on February 9th in Tucson, Arizona. First against the Baylor Bears and then against the hosts, Arizona. This season you can get all your up-to-date information, stats, everything on FordhamSports.com and follow along in game updates, everything else as well on Twitter at Fordham Softball. And we hope to see you here at Bohoshi Field this season.